Hi, this is PR Sundar. Welcome to Dalal Street Week Ahead program. First, let us look at the larger picture. What happened last year at the end of September? The Nifty bottomed out around 16,800, and then there was a rally of about 900 points in the month of October, and another 700 point in the month of November. So taken together, a total of 1600 point rally. And then in the month of December, it shot up another 300 point and Nifty hit a fresh all-time high around 18,900. And then came the correction. That correction took the markets once again back to 16,800. So mainly because FIIs continued to sell in the month of January, February, and then there were other problems like Hindenburg report about Adani and so on. And in fact, in the first 3 months of this year, we have hugely underperformed the world markets. In the first quarter, and most world markets have shot up about 5 to 7%, but we were down. Then again, in the month of April, the rally started. Last September, Nifty bottomed out around 16,800, and this March also Nifty bottomed out around 16,800. And after bottoming out at 16,800, October and November last year, Nifty rallied 1,600 points. I think 1,700 point, if I am not wrong. I think it closed around 18,600. Okay. Now, in the month of March also, Nifty bottomed out around 16,800. And in the next 2 months, again the same thing, Nifty shot up, now closed around 18,500. Okay. Now, what happened in the month of December? The December, once again, the market went further higher to hit all-time high around 18,900. Then came the correction. And now it looks like we will be doing the same thing this month. At least the first half of the month, okay, the expectation is very high that Nifty may go up another 300 or 400 point and to test all-time high once again. So that is the expectation. So why the expectation? Number one, the global markets are stabilizing and global markets are moving higher despite some negative news. And today particularly, there is a very big positive news for US markets. That is the US debt ceiling issue. Finally, a tentative deal has happened, and coming Wednesday, so that will be coming to the voting. And already the Dow future is trading around 250 point higher. So tomorrow morning, so we can expect there's a big up in US futures that will add a positive sentiment to Asia. And then SGX Nifty also, it was indicating 60, 70 point up, and it's likely to gap up more than 100 point tomorrow. So anyway, so this is just a one-day affair. But if you look at the medium-term perspective, for the last 1 week or 10 days, so what is unusual, both FIIs and DIIs were net buyers in cash market. And continuously for 6 or 7 trading session, I don't know when the last time this has happened. So domestic institutions and foreign institutional investors, so they are the big forces in India, controlling more than 75-80% of the market in cash market. And if both of them are buying in cash market, so there is no reason for market to fall big. So anyway, stock market, things can change all of a sudden. One bad news is enough to bring down everything. But overall, usually June to October period is a good period for Indian markets. Looking at the open interest also, 18,000 put option has the highest open interest among the puts, and 19,000 call option has the highest open interest among call options. And what happened last month, that is the May series, on the very first trading session, Nifty shot up and the April series closed around 17,900. On the first trading session of May, Nifty shot up and closed above 18,000, and then after that for the entire month it was trading between 18,000 to 18,500. In fact, I'll tell you one more interesting thing. In the March series, it closed the first trading session of the April series, Nifty was up and closed at some level. Then the rest of the April series, Nifty did not fall below the closing level of the first trading session. And same thing has happened in the month of May also, May series also. The first trading session, it closed around 17,900. First trading session moved 100 point higher, closed above 18,000, and after that, so it did not touch that closing level. The whole month traded between 18,000 and 18,500. So now, two historical things. One last month and the previous month. The second one in a longer time frame, last October, November, December. So by looking at all these things, there is every possibility that Nifty may not fall below the 18,500, which was yesterday's, that is Friday's closing level. The general expectation is that the markets will trade with huge volatility. Why huge volatility? Because if the markets have moved significantly higher, just see in the last 2 months, Nifty has shot up 1,700 points. So there is every possibility the profit booking will come in at any time. So that may add volatility. So the general expectation is that the markets may trade with huge volatility between 18,500 and 19,000. So that is the expectation now. So however, I am expecting some kind of a profit booking by domestic institutional investors when the market is reaching closer to all-time high. So if domestic institutions are not booking profit near all-time high, so when are they going to book the profits? So looking at the open interest, also 19,000 looks as a stiff resistance. And then usually what happens in the markets, the first it goes and tests all-time high, and every media will be highlighting all-time high. And some people tend to book the profit. Markets will come down to some level, and then once again the buying will emerge, and then second time when the all-time high is crossed, that is where the markets can move significantly higher. If you look at the Bank Nifty, 44,150, that was the all-time high, and the last month many times it tried to go there, and then profit booking came. So Bank Nifty fell about 600, 700 points from there, and now the market is moving again. Now if the all-time high is taken, then market can move significantly higher. Usually this is how markets behave. Once a particular resistance is tested, some selling will come, and that selling is absorbed. Then when second time it is taken out, so that is where generally people believe the rally. So Bank Nifty in all likelihood will cross all-time high tomorrow morning opening itself. So I always say, when everybody is expecting something, that does not happen. So things happen when nobody is expecting, or by keeping the uncertainty in the play. So last week, though markets went up and people were skeptical, what will happen if the US debt ceiling issue is not resolved, if it is dragged, that kind of things, when there is such a big uncertainty, is that people will not like to go long. And that is when the markets will actually move. So, in case if many people have gone long, when the market goes higher, they will book the profit. So now there are not many people who have long position. So if the market goes higher, it can continue to go higher. So these are all the important points, my observations. So number one, last October, November, December. So now market may behave the same way this April, May and June, and that is one thing. Second thing, like April series and May series, how it behaved. So it's quite possible this series also it may move like that. And then now US debt ceiling issue is over. And one thing is that we cannot be too happy that US debt ceiling issue is over. And I think that is more or less factored in the US markets. And that is why the last few trading sessions, the US markets were higher. And the famous saying in stock market, buy on rumor and sell on news. So who knows, tomorrow when the market gap up, so the US markets may come under some selling pressure. But however, tomorrow US market is closed. So the markets will open only on Tuesday. So until then, people can just keep watching the futures only. So other than that, so this is the first week of the series. The usual data like manufacturing PMI data, services PMI data, US jobs data, and then core sector growth data, monthly auto sales data. So there will be a lot of data driven. So usually the first 2 weeks will be usually data driven, and then the last 2 weeks it all depends upon how the positioning in the markets. So overall market sentiment is bullish right now. So what the people say, trend is your friend until it bends. So even technically also the market is looking long only. So Bank Nifty definitely tomorrow all-time high, and Nifty will become all-time high or not this month. So that we have to see. And then who knows, there may be some profit booking. As I always say, I am not a big fan of huge gap up and huge gap down. And if it is a moderate opening, then it's okay. So if it is a huge gap up, so definitely there will be some intraday dip. So one can use that opportunity to take some long positions. So please remember, I am not a SEBI registered advisor. So this is just my view. So hope you enjoyed listening to this audio. Thank you for listening.